Secretary General, Chairman and members of the Board of the CBC, Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. I am indeed honored to welcome you this morning to the inauguration of the Commonwealth Business Forum, as well as to our country. You have come together to our small nation island with a purpose and a mission, that of discussing the most pressing concerns and opportunities facing world business today in creating employment, investment, growth, and opportunities for all. Your presence here is a reflection of the spirit that is beginning to spread through both the political and the business classes all over the world, in which previously closed markets are opening up, economies are being liberalized, and international barriers, at least to trade, are being brought down. You come from over 50 different countries, from all continents, to participate together in a meeting designed to improve trade links between our countries, to promote cross-border investment, and to lobby governments to introduce ever more business-friendly environments. You are all here today also because you see in globalization an opportunity to use the resources of our respective countries more efficiently to make our economies good for business and good for our citizens. And in order to achieve this goal, we certainly need to network our efforts at all levels. In my opinion, this meeting of business people in Malta is significant for two main reasons. First, the location you have chosen happens to represent a crossroad that bridges continents, cultures, and communities. Malta has been a center for trade and a meeting point for a diversity of cultures for centuries. We have thrived on our ability to communicate with people, to do so in full respect of their different cultures and beliefs, and to look at challenges as opportunities for us all to move forward. Secondly, the context within which this meeting is taking place is indeed of momentous importance. It is a context that places information technology at the very center of every business activity. It is also a context that is constantly moving from one milestone to another. The rapidity of change is unique in human history, and therefore the requirement to be able to adapt and change is today a crucial and vital ingredient for success. Now, this is not an easy task. As a politician, my first responsibility is to make my people aware of the need to change, and to do so in as rapid a manner as possible. Unless this is done, business will automatically seek other pastures where it believes it can exploit its full potential. The challenge is winnable. There are enormous advantages for all of us that did not exist a few years ago. Indeed, information technology has managed to break down the physical barriers that used to limit our range of activity and therefore our markets. This is even more relevant for small states and especially island states such as Malta, because today size is no longer the determining factor it used to be. This has now been replaced by the ability to have adequately skilled human resources operating within a knowledge-based society. But there is an even wider political dimension to this reality. In a sense, it is the dark side of the coin. The makeup of today's globalized economies seems to be putting all of us in a dilemma. On the one side, we recognize the need to take down barriers to trade, to open up our markets and to create level playing fields within which our entrepreneurs can do business. But on the other side, those countries that lag behind in development and are facing immense social and economic hurdles are constantly facing a growing divide that separates the rich from the poor. Even here, this same challenge has taken on a new dimension. The divide that exists between rich countries and poor countries is now no longer limited to the material aspect. 1/3 of Commonwealth citizens live on less than $2 per day. This divide has now been compounded by a divide which is digital in nature and which continues to widen the gap between the haves and the have-nots. This is why I consider it of particular significance that you will be discussing issues that lay at the very heart of any potential reform and the progress that we hope to achieve on a political level. 14 years ago, in Harare, the Commonwealth declared its foundation on democratic rights. 8 years ago, in Edinburgh, a new focus on trade, the economy, investment, and sustainable development were embraced in addition to the more traditional Commonwealth subjects. We have now come together in Malta to revitalize our traditional Commonwealth links of nations, governments, peoples, cultures, and business to explore together how we can push forward our networks and our networking to develop new opportunities for business and for our people. This CHOGM's theme, Networking the Commonwealth for Development, aims at developing the understanding of the advantages of information and communication technologies. In particular, the advantages of bridging the divide between those who have access to technology and those who do not. This theme provides us also the opportunity to pursue development in its broadest sense, including education, civic participation, and quality of life. In choosing this theme, we were not after a new thing, but we looked for a new focus. A focus on who we are as a network of nations and how we can make this network function better to improve the lives of our people and communities in a globalized world. Security, international trade, the fight against poverty, as well as irregular immigration or mass movement of people from one continent to another, are intimately intertwined with the efforts towards networking for development. This last issue is one that challenges our country in a particular manner and must be addressed with determination and commitment. Attempting to address this problem means to think in terms of long-term sustainable strategies that improve the quality of life in the countries from where people are deciding to move. Networking is a free and voluntary choice that nations and people can engage in. Mass migration, when it is forced on people who see no future in their home countries. We therefore need to network our efforts to give people hope and a future in their own countries for development to take place. Positive, long-term development occurs through the joint social, political, and economic advancement and is unsustainable if any one of these spheres is excluded. Economic stability is indeed a cornerstone of progress in any area.